Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Here's your 2015 Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank. Oh, God. I fucked up. Battleground predictions and review. Lots of rumors swirling, lots of big happenings going on right now in St. Louis. Let me address a couple right now. I heard, according to reliable sources, The Rock has been spotted at a St. Louis hotel. His impact for the night, I don't know. I hope it's not to help his douchebag cousin. Um, Probably is. Nonetheless, The Rock is in St. Louis, and the dead man himself, the Phenom, the god of WrestleMania, the dead man, the immortal, the Undertaker, is in St. Louis. He has arrived at the Scottrade Center. What's going to happen? We don't know. Is he coming for Brock? Is he coming for Rollins? Does he have another agenda? Could the Stinger be there as well? Could they meet up at SummerSlam? I think it's personally for Lesnar, but we will see. Will he even be on the show tonight? We will see. Now, let's get into predictions and results. First off, again, this is not podcast Eddie. This is pissed off Eddie right now. Let me just say, I think it's absolute, utter bullshit that Dean Ambrose was in the title picture the last 2 months, was main eventing, and fucking dominating the last 2 months. Should have been world champion. And suddenly he's not on the card for a Battleground. He is not on the card. He does not have a spot on the night. He does not have a match. Kind of tells me they're planning something here. Something bigger than what we could see. This main event, hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen, if you're wearing one. Tuck your kids into bed. Do what you got to do, because it's going to be a wild and bumpy ride, that 30-minute main event. Just wait and watch. Let's get into the result. Let's get into the predictions now. We got the pre-show crown on the line. King Barrett versus King What's Up. Let me emphatically channel my Ric Flair in excitement and anticipation. Woo. I got King Barrett just because he needs to go back to his Bad News Barrett gimmick, and losing that King of the Ring, that kills the King of the Ring. There's no legitimacy in it. There's no prestige. Like, what's the point of having it if you're gonna have some guy take it? Like, no. King Barrett wins, goes back to BMB, gets back over with the crowd, possibly makes another Intercontinental title run, maybe makes a main event run. Let's fucking hope. Let's go to the main show now. The Intercontinental title match, I believe, is now a #1 contender match. I believe there was talks of adding a third person. Maybe it's Ambrose. I don't. Nothing has been set in stone as far as I'm aware at this time. I'm going to go ahead and say The Miz steals this one. And I really don't know how to call it. It's another match to me that has no interest. Tag team title match. New Day versus the Primetime Players. Now. I absolutely love the fact that the Primetime Players have gotten their break. I absolutely love the fact that they are your World Tag Team Champions. But New Day is very over with the crowd, which is rare for a heel team. New Day is the epitome of a heel team. New Day is the faction WWE needs right now. New Day needs to be represented as champions. I think Primetime will get their day at a later date. I think New Day wins back their gold tonight for obvious reasons. I'm taking New Day. Let's go on to what other matches? Let's go to Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt. Now, this has been a hell of a bit. They kind of dropped the ball with this build-up a little bit, but it has been good at times. you got to ask yourself, how many losses can Bray Wyatt endure before his character is finally killed? Like, how much of this can he go through? I just don't see much more of this. I take Roman Reigns tonight because I think they rebuild his momentum as a world heavyweight champion caliber. I hope I'm wrong about this. I hope I am wrong, but I just can't see him killing Roman Reigns the way he's been performing at pay-per-views, and I don't know. I just really don't think creative has anything for Bray Wyatt, which is sad because he is the best talker and one of the best gimmicks right now in WWE. But I'm going with Roman Reigns. Believe that. Randy Orton versus Sheamus. I love these matches. Now, people say they're too repetitive, whatever. I love them just because they end up in absolute brawls. They are absolute slugfest, wars, whatever you want to call it. Uh, they're in St. Louis, Randy Orton's hometown. History shows that usually they like going with the heel in a guy's hometown. However, not such is always the case. I believe I'm going to go with Randy Orton tonight just because this feud I think will continue in the SummerSlam, and I have a feeling we might see Sheamus later in the night, and I'll get into that next. I'm going on these matches of importance to me, not by which I feel main event should be the one I'm gonna name last, but it won't be. But you know, okay. Rumors of a Divas match being added. This promo is brought to you by 7-Up. For the clean, crisp taste, 7-Up always goes down smooth. It's good. It's good. It's good. Paige and Nikki Bella. Let me just say this. Monday better been the end of Nikki Bella. She absolutely sucks as a champion. She cannot speak. Her wrestling skills are the equivalent of a 2-year-old squirming in bed. Very unrealistic champion, and I'm sorry for anybody who watches this and is going to jump on Nikki Bella's fake Barbie doll body parts. She's fake. She's plastic. She sucks. Paige for the win tonight. Give the WWE Divas Championship some legitimacy again. Hopefully we see Paige feuding with Becky Lynch and Charlotte here in the near future. That is best for business as far as women's wrestling is concerned. Cesaro. Been here, and he's going to be added with Rusev to the card. Cesaro has been white hot. White hot. I've been screaming for 2 years that this man should be in the main event picture. And it finally appears that WWE is ready to give him his run, thank God. Rusev still indestructible, and he did lose to Cesaro Thursday night, which would make people believe, oh, well, if there is a pay-per-view match, they ain't going to have Rusev losing. Wrong. You can't kill Cesaro's momentum ring. I ultimately see this as a number one contendership for the U.S. title at SummerSlam. I ultimately think Cesaro comes out on top and makes his run. He's going to try push, and by God, he's going to win. That leads us to the world title match. Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. Now, if it were up to me, it's everybody. I don't think there's any scenario. There's tens of 20s of scenarios in my head that could play out for this. Not one of them leaps to Rollins winning clean, which is a shame because if WWE is smart, that's the swerve they would pull. A clean victory for Rollins would legitimize and establish him as the future of WWE, which they need to do. Because Seth Rollins is every bit as good for those of you idiots who can't see it because you're too blinded of his gimmick, Seth Rollins is probably the best in-ring performer that WWE has to offer today, and that's not counting NXT. That's not counting Finn Balor, obviously. In WWE, he's one of the best in the world. I think Seth Rollins retains. I think we see a lot of interference. A lot of interference. I think the Triple H Seth Rollins build up towards SummerSlam is upon us. I think an Undertaker Lesnar match at SummerSlam is all but inevitable at this point. I think what's best for business right now is Rollins beating the game and passing the torch that he is the future and he can beat the past as well. I got Seth Rollins tonight in an absolute slugfest. He will get destroyed. He will enter Suplex City. And ultimately he will pick up the win. But not in the typical heel fashion that you guys expect. Like I said, a lot of swerves. Now, like I said, I think we could see Sheamus later in the night. I have a feeling that Sheamus comes down to that ring, cashes in his Money in the Bank. Now, I'm not going to make a prediction on if he's successful or not because there's going to be too many surrounding factors that, I can't call it. I can't. But I do see Sheamus coming out on. I do possibly see Sheamus winning the World Heavyweight Championship tonight. That remains to be seen. So, lots happening. And now, for, in my opinion, the best match of the night. Your hero, your Mr. Never Give Up John Cena against a guy who shouldn't even be here right now, a guy who's defied every odd in the book and done it his own way. Mr. Wrestling, Kevin Owens. Who do I got in this match? I think that's about obvious now, isn't it? There's no way Kevin Owens doesn't leave the Scottrade Center without the U.S. title. There's none. He'll kill John Cena if he has to for that belt. And I just want to say this is nothing against John Cena. Right now, I want to thank you, Mr. Cena. Thank you for bringing legitimacy, honor, prestige, class back to that United States title, which was once the most honorable and prestigious title in the world. You look at all the guys who have held that championship. That belt used to mean so much. And ever since it's been in WWE, it's kind of been taken as a joke for the most part. So I think Cena has helped bring it back to legitimacy, and Kevin Owens will drive it over the top. Kevin Owens will bring something new to that belt, and we'll have main event matches for that belt in the weeks to come. I think Kevin Owens, it's going to take about 3 pop-up power bombs, 2 cannonballs, and maybe a couple Canadian destroyers to beat John Cena, but Owens comes out on top. Don't be surprised if we see an AA from Owens to end the match tonight. I would love to see that. Sorry, kiddies. Your hero's time is up, and it is. Don't worry, he'll go on to win his 1 World Heavyweight title so they can put him with Ric Flair, even though he doesn't deserve it. I respect John Cena, but I hate the idea that he's in the class of Ric Flair because he couldn't even hold Ric Flair's fucking man thong. I respect you, John Cena, but I don't like you. I think you're second maybe even third tier as far as overall wrestling skills are concerned. And tonight, I think Kevin Owens will show that the better man will prevail. Your time is up. His time is now. And the real champ is here. And the real lunatic is out. Those are my predictions. Watch them and weep. Enjoy Money in the Bank. I said it again. Enjoy Battleground. I'm sorry. I bought a Money in the Bank shirt. I just watched CM Punk win his title at Money in the Bank. I just watched Money in the Bank 2015 from last month. I'm sorry. But Battleground. Enjoy it. It's going to be one for the ages. And it starts right now.